As the siege continues, troops from the 129th out of Albany try to establish a beachhead on West Broadway and Canal, but they meet serious resistance from the Lower East Raiders, who have pushed them back to the mouth of the tunnel, throwing the wounded to the zombies. The zombies have changed the rules of engagement, as Red Cross workers bearing litters of wounded, screaming men have attracted the undead ghouls from as far away as the battery, who attack the living, the wounded, and the dead. This reporter has seen whole piles of corpses on North Moor begin to twitch, move, and attack each other as they moan for brains. One of Dante's nightmares right here on Canal Street. Wilfred Burroughs, the Holland Tunnel, WZMB.
Hey, all you jazz fans out there in the night. This is Jimmy Rudolph coming at you live. Not undead, but live from WZMB Jazz at 3. Broadcasting from the historic Tribeca Studios in war-torn but still beautiful downtown New York City, the greatest city in the world. And New York, let me just say, I'm sorry. The mass exodus of New York to New Jersey happened to coincide with my one-day term as mayor. I'm beginning to think that wasn't just a coincidence. The sudden stream of refugees prompted the governor to send in the troops. And then I may have made the situation worse by calling New York a pussy. New York, I want to say right now for the record that you're not a pussy. You're just sensitive. And bright. And they're jealous. But here we are, embroiled in a war at all the major tunnels and bridges. I can't help but think that this is Jimmy's war. Fans, I'm no stranger to war. I've avoided 3 of them. But this one hits close to home, partially because it is home, but also because a loved one is out there on the line. My producer, Jamie Bogart, created a resistance group called the Lower East Raiders, and they took some flack from the 129th. She promised me she'd be back before the show started with coffee and bear claws, and she's not here. I can only think the worst. That her skills at killing zombies have left her ill-prepared for an actual living target with weapons and reflexes, and it's all my fault. If I'd been a better mayor, or not been mayor at all, we wouldn't be in this mess, and Jabo would be alive with coffee and bear claws. Oh, Jabo, if you can hear me, don't be a hero. Just keep your head down, keep your hope alive, and you come home. And if someone else is listening, and you know Jabo, and she's wounded, or God, if she's dead, don't leave her out there on the street for the zombies to devour. She wouldn't want her body to be desecrated like that. She'd rather be stripped naked, tied to the barrel of a Sherman tank, rolled to the front line, and fired on the enemy till only crisp, smoking flecks of flesh remain on the tank. That's how she wants her body desecrated. I actually have that in writing.
Hey, Jimmy. Sorry I'm late.
Oh, hey, Jabo. And if possible, I'd really like to be there for that sacred ceremony. Just for the stripping, actually, not for the whole tank thing. I have this issue with loud noises.
Yeah, so do I. They get me hot. Like when your whole body rattles and your fillings feel like they're about to shake out.
Jabo, I'm having a moment. And this coffee is tepid. Could you give it a nuke for me?
Sure. Hey, you should have seen those National Guards running when
Jabo, a little professionalism here, please. Doing a show here. But if she's just wounded, fans, please remember she has an old head wound. And you can't just lay her down on the street. You have to cushion her head. Oh, she's so tiny. Jabo, come home. Please, Jabo, come. Hey, this bear claw's stale.